Welcome to our Kachmann Wellness post. I've had 3 or 4 before. I hope you look at those because I'm about getting you to live to be 100. That's the name of my website, Live to Be 100. I took a walk in nature this morning, actually, and I saw the leaves of green, red roses too. Let's go on. Today's little conversation is going to be something which I designed a number of years ago, a Culture of Wellness Circle. It's about the Magic 8. Now I will discuss those with you today. If you do these, certainly you'll live to be 100. And before we say goodbye, be sure that I'm still there to talk to you. Okay? No. So, number 1, and if you want copies of this, you can get those by coming to one of my lectures, and I'll give you a free copy. And number 1 is some self-responsibility for our health. If you go see a physician or a clinic, I want you to participate in your health care. Obviously, you get a broken leg, you fell out of a helicopter. I mean, you won't need to do that. But for most illnesses, I'd like you to get a second opinion, look online, read a book, talk to some friends, because medicine is complicated out there. So we want participation in the healthcare. And if they recommend wellness to you, follow these 8 here. Of these 8, number 1 is nutrition. Okay, that's the important thing. What are you eating? And you might say, well, I am what I eat. Yeah, to a point. And you might say, well, geez, then maybe I am what I digest. Kind of to a point. You are actually what your blood work is. And we'll speak more about that later. So it's very important all your life, at least every year, get blood testing done. And I'll tell you a little later what that should be. So the type of food you're eating really leads the way. For example, if you eat 80% of vegetables, fruit, maybe 20% meat products, organic meat products, if you feel like you need to eat some meat. An excellent way to be eating. It's simple. It's not hard. Most of us are addicted to sugar. That's really the problem. Sugar really is the booger. So you got to learn to read labels. Am I eating a lot of sugary foods? And that's what's causing the amount of overweight and problems we're having and disease. Incidentally, you can be perfectly thin, so I don't need my blood test. I'm obviously healthy, I'm thin. 25% of the people who have a great figure, they're the trophies. Thin on the outside, but fat on the inside. It's the blood work that counts, okay? And number 2 is physical fitness. Now you might say, oh, I'm having a bit of a health problem, and I'll go to the Y or Planet Fitness or whatever, or take a walk the dog, and I'll get healthy again just exercising. I hate to tell you, I want you to have those habits, but I know the stats. What percent of the people work out regularly? You won't believe it. 3.5%. Yeah, they followed them. 10% belong to Planet Fitness, but I found out there that's only the number of people that work out regularly. Yeah, they pay the money and don't show up. I want you to increase your activity of living. That's what I want you to do. Take a walk, stand up when you're on the phone, use the stairs, park far away. So exercise is maybe 20% of the calories you burn over every day. 80% is what you're consuming. Yeah. So physical fitness, you work out heavily for an hour, how much calories you burnt? 200, 150. A few people, maybe 300. You may think that machine says you're burning 800 calories. Not true. They've studied that. Only about 200. So the type of food that you're eating is important. Very important. Next, bring some spirituality into your life. People that are spiritual tend to have better lives. Belief, for example, people have fears, anxiety, stress. A lot of people have bad habits with alcohol, cigarettes, opioids, for example. Children create other worlds with technology. So spirituality can relieve some of your stresses, depression. Power of Positive Thinking books written by Norman Vincent Peale. I can, if I think I can. So the mind is affected by a thought process. Real neurotransmitters, hormones, affect the rest of your body that hit those receptors, and you may have a quick fix with a cigarette, but you might get a long-term fix by walking the dog, by laughter, by dancing, by great hobbies, instead of alcohol, cigarettes, or opioids. So spirituality, belief in God, is healing. Frankly, it's healing. And next, I have a way of life. To become healthy, to be mentally balanced, mentally and physically, it's a way of life that you're this way day after day, that you don't smoke, consume as little as possible of alcohol, take a walk every day. If you're working very hard, consider, you may be getting a lot of exercise at work, or maybe you can even increase it at work. But show community and love to your family and your friends. So being well really is a way of life. We sleep better when we are relaxed instead of being fearful. Next is education. When does education begin? A lot of people would say the day we are born. Actuality, how that child develops, it depends on the grandparents and parents, what their habits were. Were they of normal weight? Did they smoke? Did they drink? Did they exercise? Is affected in that genetic structure. So you will educate the genes of your child. Yes. And then, of all things, 95% of our DNA expression, the ones that write the script of our life at birth, has not been expressed. That can be a fortunate part there, because that child, by what you give them to eat, how much love you show them, their education, the family, you will write the genetic script of your child. So education begins even before conception. And that kind of thing, it's called epigenetics. Next, I want you to understand the integration of the mind in the body. Candace Pert in 1972 discovered the opiate receptor site. Every cell in our body has on these receptors, and through neurotransmitters, hormones, neuropeptides, our thought process will send out chemicals, those what I spoke about, 50 hormones we have. Geez, you wonder how we're ever stable. And to the rest of your body, and these chemicals hit these receptors and make you feel sad or happy or depressed. If we give somebody a hug, dopamine is released, we feel good quickly, or long-term contentment, the serotonin brought on by music and dancing and laughter, and especially exercise is very important. So you must understand the mind-body connection. We are not just our blood test. We are not just our MRI or our angiogram. This thing affects our body. I wrote a book on that, Welcome to Your Mind Body. It's on Amazon, or Candace Pert's book, Molecules of Emotion. Great books to read. So when you go to a physician, it's not just, a complaint to the script. They get to know what's going on in your life. If they ever ask what's going on in your life, you might need a second opinion. And don't accept the opioid script unless it's clear. You got a broken leg, you got a heart attack, okay. But most other things, the 70-80% that we complain about as pain, they want to hand you a narcotic, refuse it. Say, I want to try something else. Maybe a massage, maybe an anti-inflammatory. So I want you to know about the mind affects the body. And then the last one of these 8 is I want you to get your blood work done. We spoke about that earlier. Yearly testing. And if you get a problem, every 3 months. And if you get a fork of a couple of bucks because they don't want to run that test that I want you to get. For example, let me give you one big example. Suppose you're overweight, okay? and they're telling you, and you get a pot belly, okay, and they're telling you you don't have pre-diabetes or diabetes. Don't believe them. The best measurement of pre-diabetes or diabetes, which is accompanied by 30 different illnesses, okay, is abdominal measurement. Yeah, it's judgment-free zone, okay, judgment-free zone. And so demand blood sugar and the serum insulin, okay, very important. That'll diagnose you with pre-diabetes very early. You can avoid all these 30 illnesses. We can reverse type 2 diabetes 30 days. I also suggest a gluten test. There are many diseases due to the gluten in wheat, barley, and rye, and people are misdiagnosed a great deal. In this country, they don't run that test much. In Australia, everybody gets it. Europe, everybody gets it. So gluten tests, serum insulins, I mean, I could talk about tests for an hour, but let's stop it right there. So in summary, you have these 8. I try to just take a nice picture of them, and it's really a wheel, and try to get maybe a free copy from me. They would be available for free at the Three Rivers Pharmacy. I'll provide them there. Incidentally, I give talks, I give consultation to patients there for free for addiction or type 2 diabetes, because I want to get rid of it, and I've got the time, so you can go over there, talk to Sheila Walker, and if you want to speak to me for half hour, an hour sometime, I'll give you names of books to read and YouTube shows you could watch about health, and give you a free copy of this Wheel of Wellness Circle. Thanks for allowing me to speak to you today. We'll do one of these every week, and let's keep on dancing, okay? Now, there's the best exercise that you can possibly get. I also hear a great book to read, because sugar really is the problem. So I wrote an interesting book, and what's the name of it? The New Slavery. We are a slave to sugar. So these are on Amazon. You can get this book, or you can pick it up at the Three Rivers Pharmacy also, because this is the main cause of 80–90% of the illnesses we got. Our problems with sugar. This explains it. Sugar's a quick fix. We're slaves to it. We're eating 200 pounds a year instead of all we need, 5 or 10, okay? So anyway, I do this because I care about you. I love you. See you next week. Bye-bye.